This might be new to you, ladies and gentlemen. Discipline is a way of life. It is how we set our values in our home. It is family practice that is discipline. We don't hit, we don't bite, we don't kick, we don't do a lot of things. And this is what we teach children in school every day. We don't hit, we don't bite, we don't do this, we don't do that. We are friends. We don't run, but we walk. We don't shout, but we talk. But unfortunately, most of the mummies, they are not talking. They are shouting. Come here, sit down. Did you do your homework? It's about, did you do or don't do? Those are the two very, those are the two words that we are so common with. So it's about, did you do or don't do? Yeah? So I just want to tell you a story that will make you a little more aware. When I was doing my course back in Sri Lanka, we had to observe children in a mentally retarded institution. So I had to go there, and when we go there, we had to stay the whole day, and we are assigned certain people to observe the whole day. Whatever they do, whatever we see, everything is observed without a word. We just write down and write and write and write. So for about 8 hours, all we do is write. And at the end of the day, we get to meet the doctor, who is a psychiatrist, and he will go through the evaluations that we have made, and he will discuss what went wrong here, wherever. So I got a little boy at the age of 9. This boy was mentally deranged or whatever, handicapped, we will say. He had some issues that were not acceptable socially, or he couldn't go to school, he was not accepted in school, so he needed to go into rehab for some reason or the other. So I went and sat there, and I observed his movements and how he got on with the other people in the institution, and so on and so forth, and I did my records. At the end of the day, I was just walking across to the doctor, and he crossed my path, and he said, "Hi." I said hi to him, and he looked at me and said hi. So I went down and I said, "Hi, my name is Pranita, and what is yours?" And he turned around and he told me, "I'm John Don't." I was taken aback. And he waited for a while, and I asked, "I beg your pardon, what is your name, darling?" I asked him, very kindly. And he got so annoyed, and he said to me, "I am John Don't." With that's a tone. Yeah. So, okay, I jotted that down, name John Don't. So I went and I met the doctor. And I went and met the doctor, and he went through my evaluation, and he said, "Oh, you have found out that this is the problem. You have found out the actual problem that lies within this child." And I asked, "What is it, sir?" He said, "His mother has been absolutely fastidious about cleanliness. I'm not against cleanliness, but a house must be a home. And his mother only said to him, 'John, don't.'" And he thought that that was his name. It's a serious issue. To get him back to accepting him as John and not John Don't, he had to be institutionalized. These are things that parents do without thinking. And we cannot see anything that happens to our psychic mind. We just can't see, ladies and gentlemen. If a child breaks a limb, we can take him to the doctor, and we can get him medication for it. What medication are we going to get him if he is mentally handicapped? If wrong treatment has caused him to deviate from this, what am I going to do? That's when you see all the manifestations of disobedient behavior, all the manifestations of aggressiveness, destructiveness, disruptiveness, you name it. That's when it all happens. But you and I have contributed to it very successfully in the name of love. We smack children because we love them, because we say that we need to correct them. Do you like to be smacked by your boss? What if he gives you one kani in the office? What will happen? We go to the law. We'll take them to courts, and we'll do everything that is needed to maintain our dignity as a right person. I will always make sure that I will make sure that other people know that I have been the victim of an unfair deal. But how is the child going to do that? How can a child do that? Impossible. All he can do is to just retract. All he can do is to just be quiet and hold all of these things in his little heart. And then put it out when the time comes. And you know what? Bring you and me to absolute tears. And at that time, we only think about the money that we have spent. We have spent so much of money on educating this child, but he's gone astray. Some parents have sat down in front of me back in Sri Lanka and they have cried their eyes out. And I said, I'm so sorry, I may not be the right person here to tell you this, but it is you who is at fault. There's no problem, children. They say I have a problem with my son. The problem is not the son, the problem is you and me. The son was never a problem. We are the problems because we have stopped understanding them. We have stopped maintaining an open door policy where they will have the opportunity to come and share with us anything and everything. Can they? Are you an open person? Where they can sit you down and say, Mom and Dad, I have something to say to you, and be sure that it will not go to the next door? Because we do these things. This is life, reality. Because you always want to talk about your children to the next door and the next door and the door after that as well. Is that what we want to do? Because you want to keep your trust with your children, you need to be trustworthy. Which means you need to be respecting their little feelings. We need to be respecting their little thoughts. They do contribute in a small way even. Most of the time. But what do we do? You're too small to know. You don't need to know. You're way too small. Like I said at the beginning, our children will remain our babies for the rest of our lives. But that's not what it should be. We need to realize that they are growing up, that they will also become adults. And in that path of development, I must help him to reach his ultimate goal of life successfully. And am I ready to do that? Another thing that we have is the food that we give children and the lifestyle that we lead. You know, I'm sure most of you know that we have a food plan now. We have a meal plan in the primary section. Parents do come and tell us in school, oh teacher, they don't concentrate, they don't do this and they don't do that, and we find it so difficult. You know what? Nutrition plays a huge part in the development of your child's cognition. You give the wrong food, you get the wrong reaction. So most children in school is high on caffeine. I have seen parents who send 2 bars of chocolates for the snack, or popcorn, or chips, KFC. These are not things that children should be eating. Back in Sri Lanka, 7 out of 3 children under the age of 6 is diabetic. These are the statistics. Why? Wrong food, wrong practice. It's so convenient for us to grab something from the store and chuck it in their snack box and send it. And you know, the teachers have the most difficult time after break because they are just bouncing off the walls because they just can't concentrate because the high caffeine in their system.